Welcome to Deep Thought. Stay vigilant in these times. Stay vigilant. I'm going to tell you what, we're in a time of great change. And one of the things is you have to pay attention to everything. You got to keep your eyes open. Not just what's happening in the news. And, right now we're in the midterm political season and, there's talks back and forth, which candidates, this, that, which philosophy. Of course, there's a Roe v. Wade thing. And that's just one thing. Yeah, let me be clear about that. That's just one thing. People get upset, but, of course, that's a major repercussions. But what else is happening? See, I'm going to tell you what. One of the things, a lot of people, they'll follow whatever's on the news, but then they ain't paying attention to what's happening in the streets. Now, I've talked about that on my main channel, especially in the concept of man gets woman, but just pay attention and stuff, and you can get an idea of what's going on. It might be something little you're not thinking about. You might be seeing like a demographic change in a neighborhood. It could be, you might not see as many children running around. This don't have to do with the Roe v. Wade thing, but I'm just saying. It could be that, or you could be someplace all of a sudden a certain type of people are moving in. Okay, like where I live now, I'm paying attention to the outline of the general area, because when I first moved to this area, moved to this county, and quite frankly, there used to be a lot of Confederate flags around, to the point you start ignoring it. But now I'm noticing there's a lot of things that appeal more to progressives around here, like the type of stores, what's being sold and everything. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I mean, that's just one particular area. Like, what's going on across the country? What's happening across the country and everything? Like one of the things I do, because, people don't realize they'll see me in the car videos and stuff and say, man, he's just trifling, look at him cursing up a storm. I'm actually more academic, and I'm going to tell you what, if I had my druthers, like say hypothetically, in a fit of insanity, just say, oh, let me play the lottery, get $1 million or something, or, a significant amount of money. I don't really have to work. Well, of course, I still do this, but let's just say I pull back on this. I'll probably spend all day studying, just looking at stuff. And because I do that now, because after I finish recording this, there's something I need to look at and stuff while it's still on my mind. Because it's an interesting dynamic. Because there's so many little things. Like I think I've spoken on paying attention to the movements out here. And I already said several times I pay attention to subcultures. And it was someone who commented on a video on this page saying subcultures become mainstream cultures. Now, I don't have it right in front of me who said that. But if you hear it, just shout yourself out if you hear that statement. Because you pay attention. What's the style? What's going on? What are people eating? Like, pay attention. How are people living? Pay attention to it, because it can affect you in a positive way, but also a negative way. It could change your way of living. It was like, how would that affect things? Like, I was thinking about something. You got a lot of guns. Well, it involves guns. You got a lot of states moving to allow concealed carry without permits. Okay, that sounds good. People can walk around, feel safe. But then again, how would that change things? How will people interact with each other if they feel like the person they're interacting with might have a pistol? If somebody say something, somebody cut you off in traffic, people may not be as quick to have that road rage. Because, yeah, you got your gun, but they might have their gun too. How does it affect crime? Pay attention to crime too. Like, pay attention to everything. Pay attention to every little thing, even if you think it's small. Shoot, if you're in a neighborhood and all of a sudden there's been an influx of rats, it's like, why are they doing that? And it could be something small or whatever, who's moving in. And definitely pay attention to what's going on politically. Definitely pay attention. Because as we see, whoever's running the country or running different states, that can have an impact on the type of people who live there, what they're doing. Pay attention to like how people adhering to religion. Pay attention and stay vigilant. Because I mean, look, let's just be real. As I say, it started off saying, we're in a time of change. Now, some people love that change, some others don't. Some people want to take it back to some mythical time. Others, they just want to go forward so badly they ain't thinking, well, we still have to have a foundation, Because if you look at the world, everything is a movement here and there. And it don't necessarily mean it's like someone leading that movement. In fact, when you have the movements out here, major movements, usually the people are like already moving in that direction, but then someone steps up to be a spokesperson, to be a focal point of that movement. It's very rare for somebody to become a leader of something that they created from scratch. It happens, but it's rare. But stay vigilant. Stay vigilant to every trend and everything. When I go to, me, I go to different malls and stuff. Especially when I'm with my sons, I'll pay attention to who's in the mall, what type of people, what's the demographic, what places seem to be busy. Part of that's business though, but what's happening, because then you think the big picture what's happening. Like one of the things I know, like with rent, like I know someone and their rent went up significantly, and I'm like, well, the place I'm in currently, I'm about to move. I always keep telling you, I probably could stay here another decade or something, and wouldn't see a big rent increase. Honestly, I could. Seriously, I could have stayed here, and my rent wouldn't go up the same way other people's do. But that's something to pay attention to. But at the same time, I'm also paying attention who lives in this place too. Because, like I say, you stay vigilant for everything. Like, keep your eyes open. I mean, there's big things happening, small things happening. And if you can recognize the patterns, now that's the powerful thing. If you can recognize the patterns and have the knowledge, you can actually predict where things are going to go. Just something to think about. Anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all on Sunday. Peace and blessings.